Hey, what's up? It's not a late night edition. It's like 3 something in the morning. I've been working all day and night, of course. I'm launching this e commerce site and it's a lot of work, but it's fun. It's like a video game for me. I mean, I would suggest you do things in your life that are like playing a video game. You know what I mean? Like a 12-year-old boy playing a video game, like he's excited all the time, just wants to do it, obsessed. By the way, but I want to tell you that was not the content I was going to give you. I was going to tell you to keep your promises to yourself. Be scared of breaking promises to yourself. Be terrified. I'll tell you why in a second. First of all, go to rainmaking.com if you have a real business doing at least $250,000 a year. We can talk. You can set up a free consult with me and guarantee I give you something real good and juicy for you to get rid of problems, gain more good stuff, like more revenue, stuff like that. REIGN making.com, rainmaking.com. But listen, you got to keep your promises to yourself. Like here I am. I could have just not made this video, but I tell myself to make a video every day. But you know what happens? Because I know if I don't make this video today, if I skip a day, you know what's going to happen? It's all getting washed away. And I got to start over again. The streak is over. Oh, so what, Matt? The streak is over. It's not about the streak. It's not about the number. It's about the habit. And if I don't do the habit, then I'll come up with more reasons and it'll be a whole cascade and the whole thing will fall apart. Now, that's just the way it is. And whatever you do, make a decision you're going to do something and be terrified of not doing it even one time. Because one time, screw it all up. You know, I remember listening to Chris and Heidi Powell. If you ever saw Extreme Makeover Weight Loss Edition. By the way, they're two extremely inspiring people. They help people lose 100, they bring people from 500-600 pounds down to 200 into the 100s. I mean, give them their whole life back. Very inspiring stuff. And they said, listen, you know, we would tell people, we would spend the whole first day or two getting them set up for this, and we'd only spend about 45 minutes talking about the diet and the exercise, like that's done. They'd spend the whole rest of the time talking to them about their integrity and keeping their promises to themselves. That's why they are where they are. Not that they're bad people, it's just that we all break promises to ourselves, but we don't understand how big of a deal that is. Because it just is. Here's another story. Chris was telling a story about his buddy who he helped lose literally like 300 pounds, right? And they talk a lot about this power promise, this one thing you do, maybe multiple things, but at least one thing you do every day to keep a promise to yourself, to keep integrity with yourself, to keep value on your own word to yourself, to take yourself seriously. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be brushing your teeth every day. It could be drinking a half gallon of water every day. You know, it doesn't have to be anything huge, but you keep these promises with yourself and they build, and then you do them for a while, even if it's something simple, and after a while you're like, I wonder what else I could do. And you start to just build this confidence with yourself. I've been taking this very seriously for at least a few months now. That's why I'm sharing this with you. But anyways, his buddy, who he helped lose 200 pounds, years and years, this guy had kept the weight off, stayed healthy, and then there's this one day, because the guy had a serious soda addiction, you know, and his power promise was that he'll never have soda. I guess at least soda with sugar, so he'd have at least like Diet Coke. And one day he was sitting at a fountain machine years later down the road after he lost all the weight and been healthy for years. He was at a soda machine and he said, I'm going to get Coke today, just one time, real Coke. I'm probably going to regret this. And he got it. The next thing you know, a year later, he gained all the weight back. And it wasn't until obviously way later that he traced it all the way back to that moment. And Chris and Heidi say every person they've worked with, they can always trace it back to a moment like that where they broke their power promise. And when I heard that, it made me think. It shifted. Well, it was very enlightening. But it showed me, one, the power of keeping promises to yourself, and two, the power of not keeping promises to yourself. That's why I say be terrified. Be terrified of breaking that promise with yourself. Right? That guy, he broke his promise with himself. He drank Coke. One Coke. Man, what's the big deal? One time, all these years, just get one. That's what fools around you will say. That's what you're saying in your head all the time. So I'm telling you, be terrified. That guy, look what happens. All these things slid down because it's an addiction, man. It's an addiction. You're addicted. We're all addicted to fucking off. We're all addicted to fucking up. Really. That guy, that Coke, that was his heroin. You know, that was his alcoholism. And he broke his promise one time and slid all the way back down to the bottom. You got bottoms. We all got bottoms. I got bottoms. But you know what? Taking steps. That's every time we keep that promise to ourselves. We step higher and higher up the mountain. And all of a sudden we can see a vision and we have bigger views of ourselves. Go to rainmaking.com, RAIGN-making.com. Set up a call with me. You'll be happy you did. Because I guarantee you need it. There's not a business around that can't use a good consultation, some advice from a fresh set of eyes, looking at their business, looking at what they're doing. Because I'll see something within 2 minutes. I'll see something. I'll hear something that you may have been struggling with for years, and like that, it's gone. Because I'll say, hey, there it is. Do this, not that. That seriously. I mean, you not talking to consultants, getting fresh eyeballs on things. That's you're screwing it up. I mean, that's you drinking Coke out of the fountain machine. You're just addicted to screwing it up. We all are addicted to screwing it up in some way. Our brains are constantly looking for ways to screw stuff up. So, rainmaking.com. Do yourself a favor. Anyways, keep your promises to yourself and be terrified of breaking those promises one time. Have a good one.